Welcome to episode 3 of the De-Escalation Lab. You want to come in and say hi?
Hi.
It's my daughter, Emerson. So we are really excited. We're doing things today. It's quarantine, so, we got to stay up on making sure we're doing things. But welcome to episode 3 of the De-Escalation Lab. And today we're going to talk about a few different things that I think could be helpful for you as clinicians out there in the field, battling every day to make things happen. So I want to talk about something called the De-Escalation Grid, which I think will be very impactful for your daily practice. We're going to talk about a really great, awesome technique, super easy to use to help clients kind of get in touch with themselves, do a little breathing, a little different thing like that. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the body and the stress response. So that is the goal for today. Please subscribe to the channel, put some comments down there, hit the notification bell. If you need to contact me, all my information's there on the YouTube channel. Go for it. I want to be here for you to be an absolute asset to anything that you need going forward and as we bring in more content. So let's picture this. You have a client. A client's woke up this morning, got into a fight with their spouse, got in the car. There's snow because they live in upstate New York like me. They got their car stuck in snow. They were driving down the road, took a turn a little bit too fast, and boom, Popo pulled them over. They got a ticket. They show up late to work. Their boss now screams at them for being late. They get a write-up, and there they are. They're at work. A coworker comes by and says, "Hey, Johnny, how you doing?" What a day, right? Boom! Person explodes. Person goes into full-blown crisis. You either get a call, emergency services gets a call, or frankly, they wind up in the hospital because they are in a mental breakdown. We are really awesome at responding to a crisis in the mental health field. As clinicians, it's what we do best. We respond to the emergency. What we really sometimes don't think about is those little things that might cause an incident. So we're going to pop up on the screen real quick the de-escalation grid so you have a visual, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. So now you have a visual of what the de-escalation grid looks like. You can see to the left events that cause the spike in the crisis. This is what we want to talk about today. What is going on in the person's life to reach that crisis event? So what we talked about with our buddy Johnny is he's had a pretty bad day, pretty horrific day. And maybe it's been going on like this. Maybe he's been in a rut, kind of doing his thing. And that one little comment by his coworker that wasn't really even a serious comment made it a crisis. As clinicians, we need to think about what's been going on to get someone to think and get to a point of no return with a crisis and crisis event. As you're walking in to assess someone, it's okay to try to figure out what their day was like, what they've been doing, how their past week to month have been going. A lot of people at first might say like, everything's fine, or, this pandemic, or why do you care? They might give you something. But with building that good rapport and trust, you are going to see a result of people just being open and honest with you. Man, it's been really crappy lately. Here's what's been going on. And we need to be aware of that. We need to understand what's causing those spikes. Once the crisis hits, we'll go in, we'll work on our great routines, our different scenarios, our techniques to help them de-escalate. And we're great at that, but we need to understand those events. As you saw at the bottom of the line, it says homeostasis. This is your baseline, okay? This is what a person is. Now, maybe they're nice, calm, cool, collected individuals. Maybe they're always in crisis. They're always going off. They're always in a state of up here. That's okay. That's their baseline. Everyone is different. Everyone is different, and that's okay. We need to be aware. My hair is different.
Yeah, because it's black.
Because it's black. Thank you. So we understand that my hair is different. That's what my daughter thinks. But we need to really evaluate what's been going on, what's making some significant impacts in someone's life. Then our job is to help them de-escalate, right? That right side, the events that are going to calm that situation down. It's what we're good at. It's our bread and butter. It's what we do phenomenal every day to get them to their baseline, their homeostasis, wherever they may be and whatever that may be. So that's the de-escalation grid, okay? The crisis de-escalation grid. Take a look at it, check it out, see what you think. See if it can help you kind of piece together. You want to be an investigator, right? We're great clinicians, we do good assessments, but we want to investigate what is going on so that we have that bigger picture of it. So when someone is in crisis, they may go to fight, flight, or freeze response. So let's give a scenario there. So someone is walking down the road and they see someone charging towards them. And they go, someone's charging toward me. They put up their dukes. Person comes by, bam, they punch him in the face. The person falls on the ground. Maybe the person was just running down the road. Well, because of fight, flight, or freeze and what's going on inside our brain and our memories and our previous memories and how our body and brain stores them, they thought there was a perceived threat coming to them. So they reacted. Your body will react like that. You either run away from an event, completely freeze, or you're going to fight your way through it. You never really know how you're going to react, which is really interesting. You can train, but at the end of the day, your body just may react in a certain way. So we got to have awareness that this is what's happening with our clients. So if we're going to someone in crisis, they may not want to talk to us. They may want to fight us, or they may just simply want to run away from us. So you got to be very, very mindful of that so that there's safety in there as well. There's sympathetic and parasympathetic. So parasympathetic within the body is the calm. You know, you're sitting there, you're relaxing, you're just digesting some food, your heart's nice and slow, you're breathing nice and normal. But something happens, someone comes right to you. That could create that sympathetic fight or flight, right? Your pupils are going to get really big. Your heart's going to flutter. You're going to breathe like you've never breathed before. And what's really awesome about your body is it actually turns off different areas. So your gut will be deactivated. It doesn't need to digest food. It needs to shoot blood to the extremities so you can either fight or run away from a situation or a crisis or a perceived threat. So your body is working hand in hand with crisis. It's just depending on how they're going to work together. Are they going to be really nice siblings that get along for the day? Or are they going to be the worst siblings you've ever seen fighting nonstop? So we have to have that awareness. We have to know that these things are going on within the brain and the body. And that de-escalation grid, the crisis de-escalation grid, really helps us try to figure that out a little bit. And it's okay to ask someone, hey, where are you at? What's your baseline? What are you normally experiencing? Are you someone that's kind of calm, chill out? Or are you someone that's kind of always, your heart rate's always up there. You're always looking around. You're always hyper vigilant. Very impactful for veterans, especially when they come back from being deployed and leaving the military. You know, they have that PTSD in there. And sometimes they can't turn that off. Sometimes a vet that just came back from combat, their pulse, their heart rate might be 115, 130 all the time because of the stress and the hypervigilance and everything that was going on with the PTSD overseas. So trying to figure out, put together, piece together, investigate what's going on is going to be super, super impactful to how we can get through a crisis situation. Something to remember too, whether they're older adults or kids, everyone's going to react a little bit differently, and we need to be mindful of that. If I'm walking towards someone and I'm walking up like this and I have police with me, that could be really negative to a young kid that you're trying to meet with and work with. So meeting someone where they're at, being aware of diversity, religious beliefs, cultural beliefs. Some religions, it's a shame to even look at you. You look down upon if you make eye contact with someone. In some cultures, females aren't allowed to talk to males and vice versa. So we need to be very mindful of that. And it's really important to how we respond as clinicians to different crisis events. So we have an idea of what our body's been doing. We have an idea of this crisis de-escalation grid here. And now what we need to do is talk about an interesting technique that could be really useful. So we're going to talk about 2 today. The first is going to be some breathing. Emerson, you want to help me do some breathing today? Okay, come on over. So, just going to stand right here with me. First thing we're doing is going to breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in again. Breathe out. And one more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. How'd that feel?
Good.
Good. Cool. Thanks. You could do that basic breathing with someone. Help them regain how they're feeling, how they're doing to lower that crisis. Another technique you can do is something I developed called the Eliminator. So what this is kind of Tai Chi and mindfulness and breathing all rolled into one. So you want to have them stand with their knees slightly bent, their arms to their side. They breathe in, hold, they breathe out. But what they do is, what you want to have them do is when they breathe in, they think about an event that's caused stress, anxiety, frustration, overwhelming feelings. They hold that in, and then they release it. They visualize it hitting the floor and dispersing away from them. What's really awesome about this technique is it gets someone to kind of think outside the box a little bit. They have an understanding of what's been bothering them. They take it in, they hold it, and then they release it out. You want to do this about 4 to 5 times with someone. And then after, debrief it a little bit. Hey, you did a great job with that. How did that feel? Well, I was really nervous about this situation. I had a lot of anger, but I breathed in, I hold it, and I let it go. And boy, do I feel awesome. I've done this with a lot of people over the years, and they really like this technique because it's easy to use. It's easy to do like in the morning or before bed, even during the day when you have something that's just bothering you, doing some nice breath work, holding it, and releasing it out. That is the Eliminator. Give it a try. See what you think. I always like to say when we're learning new techniques as clinicians in the mental health field, healthcare field, we want to try as many things ourselves before we talk about it with clients and patients that we're working with. That way there's more buy-in. Hey, you know what? I've done this technique. It's pretty awesome. I've tried it. Do you want to try it? A lot of people will go, yeah, you know what? I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to check it out. So that's really cool. So give it a shot. See what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And then when you use it with a client or a patient, let me know your thoughts about it. I watched a video recently where there was a police officer, and the police officer was a local sheriff's officer, and he responded to a bridge. And there was a person on the bridge on the other side who had something tied around their neck and onto the bridge and a knife. And why I'm talking about this, because it was really impactful for me. We're talking about this escalation, right? And trying to figure out what happened. And I'm going to link the video below so you can check it out yourself. What was really impactful about it, though, was that this officer in the pouring rain spent a significant amount of time, 30 plus minutes, just sitting there trying to build that rapport, that bond. Opened up a little bit about their own life, that they had a family member that actually had a completion of suicide, and really tried to understand what was going on to cause those spikes, to get that person to be in enough crisis where they're over a bridge, ready to hang themselves or cut themselves. After doing that amazing work, the person reached their hand, he reached the hand, they locked arms, they pulled him over, they got him to the hospital. So why I bring that up is because it's really impactful how we go forward in a crisis, how we present ourselves. We don't need to be robot clinicians that are Arnold Schwarzenegger. We can be loving, kind human beings, just to be there with someone, to be in the moment, to hold a space for them, and to help them essentially get to the next spot in life to make a difference. So I will definitely put that video below in the comments area so you can check it out. See what you think of it. Let me know your thoughts. I really enjoyed our time today. Thank you so much. Emerson, thank you for your help today as well. I appreciate you. We'll be back next week with more content. And again, subscribe, hit that bell button for notifications. And we're in this together. So let's collaborate. Let's get this going. Let's get some awesome ideas out there and share it. Take care.